Last night, so Micah and Jackson were on last night. Navy, Boston, and Macy, I'm going to give you just a real 30-second overview from last night and just talk about Club D1. We're going to be meeting Sunday through Thursdays, and the intent is to help to draw your leadership abilities out of you, to help you kind of harness your gifts and help you just kind of turn inward as a way to also get out in the world and take action and lead when the opportunity presents itself. And our goal is to create and develop an army of Division I capable leaders. That's our vision for Club D1, and that's what we're doing. And so this is called the factory, and this is where we develop leaders, and that's our goal. And we have 3 pillars: belief, love, and resiliency. And we'll kind of speak to each of those throughout the weeks and throughout the month as we kind of progress through and continue to teach every night on a different topic and depending what we're doing. So what I'd love to do right now is just a couple of quick little introductions so everybody can kind of introduce themselves. We'll just do a couple a night as we've worked through. Last night we had a big group. Everybody kind of has different sports and events throughout the week, and practices go long and church stuff comes up. So we kind of, our group size will be big and little depending on the night and what everybody has going on. But we'd love to meet everybody as we get going. And I would love for, if Macy, if it's okay with you, and Jackson, kind of our 2 oldest in the group, just introduce yourself to the group. Give us a little history on the sports you play, what grade you're in, and a highlight of yours from this past summer. Does that work for you guys, Jackson and Macy? Thumbs up. Is that okay? Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, Jackson.
Yep.
Let's start with you, bud.
I'm Jackson. I've been, working with Brandon since 7th or 8th grade for me. So that's, I think, past 4 years. I think we first met at a football practice you came and spoke to. And then, so I'm still sticking with football. Had a little setback. I hurt my shoulder over the winter. So I got surgery. So I'm almost back to playing. Just another week or so. Then the highlight of my summer would have to be, I got my sling off from my surgery at the very beginning, and that was definitely the highlight. Just being able to have a working arm again.
I love it, Jackson. Thank you. A lot of hard work to get to that point, to be able to play again. Jackson's been 2 weeks of contact and practice before they'll let him play and suit up in the first game. So next week he'll be back on the field, and we're all pumped and excited for him to get back out on the field. Macy, would you mind going now?
Yeah. My name's Macy. I'm a senior. I play volleyball and softball. A highlight of my summer, I got to play in Denver for softball, as well as Huntington Beach and Lake Elsinore in California.
Hey, super cool. Is that for volleyball?
Softball.
Softball. Is softball your number 1 sport?
Yeah.
Cool. And what are you playing right now? Is it volleyball season?
Yeah.
It's volleyball season. And then softball's in the spring?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. What are your goals if you don't mind me asking, what are your goals in softball coming up?
For the spring season, I want to try to hit above a 500, which is totally possible for me. And I don't know. Our program's a little iffy here, so I think just uplifting that a little bit.
Okay. Would you kind of be the leader of the team coming in as a senior, or do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. And do you have aspirations of playing after high school? Is this going to be it?
A little bit, but I'm not really sure.
Okay. We can work with that, and let's see how that goes.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you, Macy. I appreciate that. It is 8. Yeah, really appreciate that. So I'm going to move into tonight's just kind of quick little plan. So September, we are focused on seeing is believing. Seeing is believing, and everything has to happen up here mentally first before it can happen out on the field or out on the gymnastics mat or out on the court, depending on what we're doing. And one of the greatest Olympians, actually probably the greatest Olympian to ever just compete, Michael Phelps, really honed in on his ability to visualize. And so I'm going to play a quick little clip, but I'd like to share something with you, a quick picture. Can you guys see that picture? Thumbs up. Yeah. So that's Michael, 28 medals over his Olympic career, 23 of which were gold medals. Man, it's just unbelievable of how great and dominant he was at what he did. And it took work, but he had a vision and a plan and a goal. And every day he set out to try to achieve that. Now, we're not trying to be Michael Phelps. Obviously, we've all been given different gifts, and he was given some tremendous attributes to be able to swim in the pool. But he got the most out of those gifts. And that's what we're trying to teach. And to just 20 medals doesn't just happen. Even with those gifts, it doesn't just happen. And so we're going to show a quick clip. And he's going to talk about his process of visualization and what it means to him. So let me get there. Escape. Stop that. Boom. Give me 1 sec while I work through this. Okay. Yep. There it is. Okay, sharing right now. And play.
You wrote a lot about visualization, right? I mean, that that's visualization. You're visualizing that world record. Talk about...
Did you guys hear that? Thumbs up? Thumbs down. Yes? Okay, here we go.
How that became part of your process and why you think it's so helpful.
I mean, for me, when I got to a swim meet, there's nothing that I can control at that point, right? I can control what I do and how I prepare, sort of getting up behind the block and just racing. I can't control what anybody else does. So for me, I want to know how the race could go, how I don't want the race to go, and in a perfect world, how the race should go. Because it all goes back to preparation. If you're not preparing yourself before the meet, you're not going to get the time you deserve. So for me, I have to make sure I'm doing all the work leading up to a big meet so that I get behind the block and I don't have to think about anything else. I'm not worried about how I prepare. So I started visualizing at like 13, 14, just so everything around me was taken care of when I got to a meet, so I could be completely relaxed. So when I put my headphones on, all I'm thinking about is the music. I get to go up and just do what I practice to do. All of those countless hours of staring at the black line at the bottom of the pool, that was for this moment. So I just never really thought when I got behind the block and let everything do what was supposed to happen. If I didn't get the results that I wanted, then I would just go back to the drawing board. And that's really just how I worked my whole life. But I mean, visualizing just, it just mentally prepares you, and you can kind of check that box off. And I think that's what we wanted to do. Every time we got to a major international competition, we wanted to check off as many boxes as we could. Because if we did that, then what else do we have to worry about?
Exactly. So that's going to set the tone for the next week or so. We're going to work on that visualization process and apply it. He's talking about the pool, but we're going to apply it to your sports and your domain and what you're working on. And there's a lot in there that he shares with us. And that's the point. These masters and these great people and athletes have come before us, and they've told us exactly how they've done it. And so we're going to learn from them. We're going to practice it. We're going to dissect it, and we're going to implement it into your guys' lives on the court, on the diamond, whatever you guys are playing. So that's tonight's message. I appreciate you guys hopping on. Thank you for Macy and Jackson for introducing yourselves. Michael, we'll chat really quick. Boston and Navy, welcome. It's so good to see you guys again. And we will see you guys. We have one more night this week, Thursday night, and then we'll be back again on Sunday. Okay? Night, guys.